Yeah, note from her. Okay. Okay, all right. All right, thanks, Don.
All right, we are in place. We have a quorum. I'll call the June 19th, 2023 meeting of the Town of Somerville Planning Commission to order. First order of business, the approval of minutes from the meeting on May 15th, 2023. Are there any additions, corrections, changes to those? Hearing none, we'll accept them as published. Next order of business, public hearings. We have a petition by Samuel G. Pennington and Hallie Perkins to annex TMS number 13010000018 on North Maple Street. I think everybody's seen it. Obviously, the petitioner is not here to tell us anything, so. Being no one, unless Rhonda wants to speak to it, then we'll close the public hearing and move on to new business. Do we have any street names today, Tim?
None that I am aware of.
Okay. And then if we could go back to the agenda. Sorry. Okay, so the first order of new business is the petition by Samuel G. Pennington and Hallie Perkins to annex TMS number 13010000018 located at 518 North Maple Street, totaling approximately 0.58 acres, currently zoned OI Office and Institutional District in Dorchester County, and will be zoned urban corridor mixed use. And that should be in Council District 1. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Now, this is on the side where they're widening North Maple.
Yes,
So that's, if I go up 78, this will be on my right.
yes. So if you're heading north
Be on the
on
left.
Maple towards the interchange, it'll actually be on your left.
So most of those properties you were showing on the map in purple, aren't they now part of the roadway? The opposite side, just. from the
They, if you look here, where my cursor is, that
Brown is
portion
trailer park.
was taken.
Yeah.
Along here on this side, that portion was taken for the widening of. I want to say, I say taken, but that was, done through the normal process.
Okay.
And acquired by the town for right of way. To accommodate the widening of North Maple Street. So. As you go up Maple Street towards the interchange, the property's on the left-hand side.
Okay, thank you.
I have a little misgiving about this. It appears that we're kind of shopping zoning.
Yeah.
The property surrounding it is all residential. The property across the street is neighborhood mixed use. It's a long skinny lot and they're going to put a used car lot on it. That's their intent.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I've got reservations about it also.
I'll join the club, but I have a different reason. Mine is you're gonna end up with North Maple Street with nothing open, cut-ins and cutouts all the way down. So if you're trying to drive the street, people are pulling into something and pulling right up all the time for businesses. Unfortunately, you can't put a surface road in there, so you can pull off and go to each business and get back out. Curb cuts on a main road like that are not a good thing.
Anything else? We have a motion on the table to approve this. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Aye. So we'll send it forward to the town with a recommendation that it not be approved. Okay, the next order of business are changes to the impact fee. Ordinance to amend the town of Somerville Code of Ordinances, chapter 20, article 4, sections 201039, 20109B and D to reduce the 80% discount of the maximum impact fee allowed to 0% so as to apply 100% of the maximum allowable Parks and Recreation impact fee. Town council's already given this first reading. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So when you collect this money, does it go to a special fund? Or does it roll into the general fund and disappear?
No, sir, it is in a special fund.
I never like general fund, that's what I'm asking. Things roll in there, they just disappear, and no one ever sees that money again. So
Oh, no, no, no.
so you have a set aside for this, and when you need a capital improvement for park, you
Right,
take it from that.
right. And, impact fees are designated for new or expanded needs because of new neighborhoods. and things like that. That's what that's for.
Are you allowed to invest that while it's sitting in the fund?
Yes,
Good, even better.
so yes.
We won't assume that once you have the new houses there and they're paying taxes, they're paying the operational fee for the Parks and Rec at that point. You get additional money from them to do the Parks and Rec operations.
Get whatever's in our general fund budget, yeah.
So the effect of this would to not allow any discounts from the impact fee.
Right. Currently, we don't have any discounts for municipal and for fire. We discounted previously Parks and Rec 80%. And so this is to remove that 80% to zero, so that there are more funds generated for the new Parks and Rec facilities that are needed because of the neighborhoods.
And this would provide services to the new neighborhoods and existing residents.
That's correct.
80%, I'm shocked. I came from a place that wasn't a discount on anything, it's what I'm laughing about. 80%, they would have taken me out and thrown me in the street.
Well, there's a balance between, obviously what you put on the house is going to fall through to the homeowner. So there's there's a balance. I know council's, certainly concerned about putting too much cost on that. However, the more we need parks and recreation areas and the expansion there, then it falls on us, all of us that are currently taxpayers. So, I think they certainly recognize that. Realize it's too big a fight to just throw into the general fund.
Well, if you're new to the party, you have to pay up for your portion.
That's exactly right.
And we've been here right along the rest. All of these people, I'm only 5 years old. All of you have been paying into all these town services for years. This is kind of like your initiation fee.
Right.
You're buying into the club.
And it's only, you bought an existing house, so you didn't have any impact fees on yours, but when the garden started, then there was impact fees there. And certainly all the new neighborhoods, then that's where
But in those days, it was probably $1 each.
probably was.
Impact fees in this town have an interesting history, but
And it's difficult. I mean, I know you're allowed impact fees on other things, certainly like transportation, but I don't think that we could ever collect enough in a transportation fund to ever pay anything. So, we've just concentrated on things that we can make a difference in, which is fire and some municipal, which would be general, municipal needs, capital needs, and then Parks and Rec.
And in transportation, you have so many jurisdictions on so many different roads, you don't know who's most.
Yeah, we'll leave that by somebody
Yeah,
else. Right?
that's, I can't understand that one. I'm sure Tim can't either where he came from. And multiple people on the same road could take the corner, it's somebody else's road.
What about the recommendations, the staff recommendations that were sent out?
So-
Added some language to the proposal.
The
Can you scroll up? So we-
Yeah, 1 second, let me get to it for you.
You talking about if building permits were in place or if they're gonna build within a certain amount of time?
Yeah,
No, it's
So-
under,
So what we don't wanna do is change the rules in the middle of the game, and somebody who's in the middle of development that already has assessed the cost, we don't wanna change those right now. So if they're serious, they've already in some kind of maybe pre-development, approval or something, and they actually purchase a building permit within 24 months, 18 or 24 months, I can't remember.
It looks like 18 here.
18.
If they do that, then they will qualify for the lower, impact fee.
Yeah, we didn't, as Rhonda was saying, we didn't want to change the calculus midstream. So that's why, and some of these developments, as they go through the process, there can be multiple phases and, it takes time, a considerable amount of time, often years, to go through the approval process and then the permitting process. So putting this language in will allow those that are already in process, have already done their calculus, their pro formas, their ideas as to what each unit's going to cost them. This allows them to keep that in place, to put it as simple as possible.
Well, let me ask you a question based on the estimates that were provided. Looking at the proposed impact fee increase, you have that, can you scroll down to that? Jesse sent it out and maybe in a separate document.
yeah, it was hard to
It's-
see it on the phone.
It's a separate document. But it says there's a building permit fee.
Beyond that,
It's not in this one here. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it was her next email she sent out.
That's
Here it
just
is.
that. That's the end of what's in the packet.
Right.
So if she sent anything supplemental, it's not available here.
Okay, it's called the jurisdictional permit cost comparison. 9,500 square foot house, valuation being $407,000. February 2022 in November. But this is what, here's my question. It's got a building permit fee. We're not talking about that. It's got a plumbing permit fee. We're not talking about that. The electrical permit fee. We're not talking about that. Mechanical permit fee. We're not talking about that. Plan review. It's not part of this. And then it says impact fee. It's not a transportation impact fee. It says impact fee. That's for everything. That's not just parks.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's
How
correct.
much of the impact fee would be derived from the park portion that we're talking about today? In this example, it gives a $6,500 impact fee for a $400,000 home.
well,
Looks like to me, we were talking about just over $3,800 for parts.
3,800, okay, and so the other
There's
2,700,
in between municipal and fire.
okay.
yeah, I got lost when it came to the, that other table, the town of, Somerville impact. The study update that was,
Yeah.
comes under discount workbook.
Yes, ma'am. I think that was sent out, if you wanted to toggle the 0 or 80 or 20%, you could see how it affected,
Okay,
as well, but, I think that is the schedule, that shows on a single family house, 3853 was the proposed impact fee for Parks and Rec.
okay,
And that was based on a study from 2022 that just looked at overall the cost of
Mhm.
facilities.
Based on that formula, there is no proposed fee for the condominiums. There's no number next to it.
There is no number next to it.
No, They were paying $235, now they're paying hyphen.
So the answer to that,
Okay,
Tim, do you know if that?
I don't truthfully, we don't have many condos that come in, to tell you the truth. That being said, that is something that it can be looked at, but I would imagine that it would apply to any new dwelling unit as the calculation goes. Unless there's something specifically, a specific reason why those would be excluded. So.
It seems a strange one to exclude, since
Mhm.
most places, as houses get about 500, you start getting more condos.
So
Rhonda.
in this comparison, it looks like under the new proposal, we'd be charging total fees roughly equal to Mount Pleasant.
I think I do remember seeing that.
Because they have a transportation impact fee
Right.
separate.
That's what I'm-
We would be charging more than Goose Creek. Slightly, about 3,000, and the increase in our about $3,000 more than what we're currently charging.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I understood it.
Rhonda, tourism is in your department, the recreation department.
A little bit is in there. I mean, that we maintain parks that they're certainly covered by some tourism funds.
Let me say this, again, can't go without saying this about impact fees. Rhonda, I'm in favor of recreational impact fees. But I have a hard time trying to rationale, the most important thing in our community is our children. And we had an impact fee turned down by the community. We got number of students in school, in our schoolhouses. Our teachers getting paid less than the surrounding counties. And we need to be a community that's, and we are known as a top school district in South Carolina. And we're slightly going downhill. Somewhere down the line, we got to get our priorities right, and it should be our children. I just need to say that.
Wish the town could make a bigger impact there.
Keep trying. That's all I have, Chair.
Else?
Anything more? All right, we have a motion to recommend approval. And a second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Guys have it. And that being the final bit on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Stand adjourned.
I like dog meetings.